Wow, this is exciting. My favorite movie. And you know who else's favorite movie? Roger Ebert.
No way.
Yeah.
It's funny looking back at their misses.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they have a lot of misses, but sometimes they just nail it. Like Forrest Gump, he's like, this is just a classic.
Really?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Have you seen the new Tom Hanks Zemeckis trailer for Here?
I know what you're talking about. It takes place all in the same living room.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
It's a tearjerker. The trailer got me worked up.
Do you cry in movies?
Not really, but I can get pretty sloppy in there. But I cried at Inside Out.
It's sad as hell.
Sad. I saw it alone. I was in the theater by myself, and I had the waterworks. I think I was having a weird week. I was weeping like a fat lady on Christmas.
Pixar does that, though.
Yeah. Up. It's another one. Oh, I used to have a thing for old Jennifer Grey. Pre-nose job. I like the honker. She cut it off.
It's weird. No, yeah, it's like she's known for that nose.
Yeah.
But now when you see a photo of her, it's like, who is this?
It's no good. It's like when what's his face? Al Roker got lipo.
Oh, yeah.
I like Fat Roker.
Did you know that the parents in this got married after filming this?
What?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
So Ferris' parents got married, and then Jennifer Grey and Matthew Broderick dated after this.
That's right.
And then they, killed a guy in an accident.
Roadhead. That's the rumor.
Is it really?
She was blowing him, which is not easy with that schnoz. And then he ran over a kid.
Do you think she broke her nose in the accident, and that's why?
Maybe.
I wonder if they were playing Day Bow Bow in that song during that.
Oh, yeah. Bump, bump. That is the most 80s mom of all time. Look at that haircut and that outfit.
First thing we got you, Mark, for coming on.
What's this?
So I don't know.
Whoa. Hey, dang, it's a great color.
So you got to look at the back.
I love it. Oh, that's killer. What do we got here? Oh, God, that's not me, is it?
Oh, yeah.
Sam Morrill, Joe. Is that Blanford?
Yep.
Wow, this is great. That's not Steve-O, is it?
No, that's Reed.
Oh. Comedy. Sam Talent?
Yep. Will Foskey.
Oh, yeah.
And then Aaron Weber.
Oh, I know Weber.
Yeah.
Is that Asmus?
Yep.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I'm honored. Thank you.
And I don't know if you'll notice y'all are drinking Bodega Cat.
Hey, Mazel. Hit me.
Yeah, delayed reaction. So why Ferris Bueller?
Yeah, excuse me. Sorry. I'm allergic to free shit. I love this movie. It came out in 86, so I was a little kid when I saw it, and it shaped me as to, living life to the fullest. He was a cool dude. He's life is short. You got to live. Fuck school. Let's get out there. Let's make the most of it. And I like that he duped his parents. I like that he was like, let's see the city. I think the gags are funny. I like that he talked to the camera. And I just love John Hughes.
Was this the first time you saw someone address the camera like that?
Probably Annie Hall, but yeah, I do love it. I love all this teaching a kid how to fake out parents blew my mind. It's so kid forward, you know? And he's hip and confident, and that scene in the end where he's running home to beat his parents, and then he doubles back to say hi to those girls on the pool chairs, that was huge for me.
I love it right after, too, that girl's like, he's going to marry me.
Yeah.
It's like, no, he's definitely not.
No.
This was just a great day.
Yeah.
Have you ever had those days where you're just like, I'm marrying this person, and then at the end of the day, you're like, probably not.
Probably
this is
not.
a great day.
You just wanted to bang her.
I do think it's crazy how likable he is in this
So
role. Even now, I'm in my 30s. I'm like, that's a cool kid right there.
Cool dude.
But every other role he's been in, I feel like he's a nerd. I don't know.
True.
He's not that cool.
Yeah, War Games, Glory. The other one.
What's the one where he's a teacher?
Oh, Election.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, another great movie.
I like that.
Yeah.
Great movie. But yeah, he's a nerd in that. Oh, look at that. Hunky.
He's ripped.
Pretty ripped. Oh, Ben Stein. Boy, John Hughes is good. He could really capture the youth. This plays in my head 3 times a day.
The Bueller.
Fry. Yeah, Bueller. This guy's gawking at the girl. It's the details. It's so 80s, so fun, so suburban, so Americana.
Mark, I hate to do this to you, but we have some more free stuff for you.
Oh, come on.
It's just a little something.
People who live in glass houses shouldn't take baths. I like it.
Do you understand the significance there?
This is the first big laugh I ever got. You ever heard this story?
I haven't.
Okay, so I was trying to be a class clown, and we were learning in, like, I don't know, 3rd grade or 4th grade, learning expressions like what goes around.
Comes around.
Yeah. What's good for the goose is...
Good for the gander.
There you go. Broken record, whatever. Broken clock is...
Right, twice.
There you go.
I was like, broken record.
Sorry. And she goes, what are you not supposed to do in a glass house? And I went, shower. Killed. So, yeah, thanks. Boy, you guys, you know more about me than my father, which is very nice. I appreciate it.
Did your watch just beep?
Yeah, beeps on the hour, and I don't know how to fix it.
Yeah. Did back in those days, did you ever ditch school growing up or anything like that?
Not really. I had to go. We lived in a rough neighborhood, so my parents wanted to send me to a decent school, so they drove me every day. So I couldn't really ditch. I had perfect attendance, like, every year.
Mm-hmm.
Nerds.
I know. I couldn't not go.
So you never missed 9 days in your whole high school career?
No, sir.
So have you ever faked sick to get out of anything, though?
Yeah, I mean, I've missed school in my life, but I've done the fake sick, for sure. One time, I used to fake getting out of work way more. I used to work as a waiter, and I woke up at like 2. We went out all night. I was supposed to wait tables at like 11, and I lied, and I said... This is the Louisiana Correction Facility. We have a guest. Do you accept this call? Yes. Mark Norman here, bro. You know, and I faked being in jail. And it worked until, you know, like, oh, I got off work, and then you go in 2 days later, and they're like, how was jail? You're like, huh? Oh, jail. I got raped in the ass. It was horrible. Shower. Oh, look at that. High school. Come on, the kid with the papers on the ground. Come on, the detail.
John Hughes was the master.
The master.
He really was, especially of like the teen.
Yes.
Like, I think it was like the first time when I look back on it, you see teens like in leading roles.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. And even like This Lady's great, Rooney's great. These are all just extra gags. And she was, I think, like an improv lady.
Yeah, she came up with the pencils in her hair.
Oh, really?
So she actually improv'd a lot of her stuff. So like they wanted to do the hair different. She's like, no, this is a 1960s haircut. And they're like, well, yeah, this is a film in the 80s. And she's like, yeah, but my character loved the 60s.
Yeah.
And just like never stopped.
Okay.
And she was like pulling pencils out. And they like even tried to see how many she could fit in her hair at one point in time.
Great.
I feel like she has a George Carlin moment when she's explaining like everybody that likes
Yes.
Ferris.
Dweebos, the Motorheads, the Schizoids. Yeah.
Oh, well, he's very popular, Ed. The sportos, the motorheads, geeks, sluts, bloods, wastoids, dweebies, dickheads. They all adore him. They think he's a righteous dude.
How about the fact that this is 86, so she has a 60s haircut, where you're like, wow, 1960s, that's a million years ago. But that would be 2004 for us.
It's insane.
Isn't that weird?
Mm-hmm.
2004 is 20 years ago.
I hate that. I graduated high school in 2005. So
Oh, yeah,
my
01.
20-year reunion's coming up. Yeah. Did you go to your reunion?
No. What's the point? No point. No, thank you. You wear that, you look like the principal.
Yeah, I feel like such a dipshit right now.
No,
I'm glad Rudy's on stage
You
right
guys-
now to like validate it.
You're killing it. Both you guys. Perfect.
He first was like, I should be Charlie Sheen. And then he said Rooney, and I was like, you're Rooney.
Dude, it really made me sad when I like started realizing like who could I be? And I was like, damn it.
What made me sad watching this, though, is realizing, like, we're all closer to Rooney's age than we are Ferris.
You're right. You're right.
God, man, why'd you do that?
Brutal. He's got to be, what, 25 in this? 24?
So Cameron is 29.
Come on.
Yeah, he's like the old. He was like self-conscious about his age, being like, I'm not in high school. And then he started thinking about it. He's like, I had a baby face in high school. No one believed that I was in high school when I was in high school.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll just keep doing that. And so it worked out for him. But
Yeah.
I bet Ferris was probably around like 22, 23.
Probably.
Matthew Broderick.
I would guess that.
The girl is only 18.
Oh, Sloane.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mia Sarah.
Mia Sarah. I couldn't have thought of
What
that.
what girl do you like better, Mia Sarah or Jennifer Grey?
Well, Mia Sarah. Oh, that's a great face. Mia Sarah is just classic hot lady. But Jennifer Grey's got spunk. You know, she's got something.
Something about the anger.
Yeah. The anger, the high kick, the nose. I like it. These faces are great.
That looks like Steve Ranzuzzi.
Oh my God.
Holy shit!
It does.
He's thinking about 9/11 right now.
Yeah.
The drool. No cell phones. It's great. In the 80s, no cell phones. You don't even notice. Isn't that weird?
When did you get your first cell phone?
My dad got me a phone in college for emergencies. It was like a Nokia brick, and I did the T9 texting.
You played Snake.
Snake, yeah, that was about it. So it was like not having one. I just used it every now and then. He's just having a good time in his room. Simple Minds. I love it. What a weird movie.
John Hughes designed that room after his room.
Whoa.
So he said it was like, it's kind of like an ADD-ish trip through pop culture.
Hey.
It's just spaz. Like, there's no real theme. It's just a bunch of different stuff.
I like it. What do you got?
Next thing I got for you.
Come on.
I think you'll appreciate this. I'm curious if you'll be able to.
Best wishes. Love, Ricky.
Oh, well, flip it around. I think you'll.
Fiona dancing. Bitter Heart.
You know who that is on the cover?
No.
That's Ricky Gervais. That's his band from the 80s.
Well, that's embarrassing. Holy shit. That's wild.
I think he signed it, too. I think that's his autograph on the back there.
Whoa. You signed that.
No, I didn't, but I didn't get a certificate of authenticity.
Where'd you get that?
Holy shit, Skinny Ricky.
Just on eBay.
He was a cute guy.
I know at one point you said that he liked one of your tweets.
Yes. And I DM'd him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to take my shot. He liked my tweets, and he wrote, like, super funny. I don't know if I should say this, but he was doing one of those Emmys or Oscars, and I sent him 20 jokes that I worked really hard on, and he wrote back, like, hey, I'm probably not going to use any of these, but I appreciate it. You know, give him hell. I like the attitude or whatever. And I was like, hey, as long as you saw it, you wrote back, that's a win. And he ended up using one.
Oh, that's awesome.
On the Oscars, yeah. So that was big. So I was watching with my wife like, oh, shit, he used it.
Who at this point in time, have you had anybody else like a tweet that you just think's like bizarre, or you're like, why did they know my content, or how did they see this?
Well, Twitter is so mean that I do what they call post and ghost, where I just post and just throw my phone across the room because I don't want to read the comments. People are like, you suck, you lost it, you're not what you used to be, or whatever it is, kill yourself. So I don't really check that. But my buddy Joe List tweeted a joke about Biden, and Hunter or
So funny.
Don Jr. retweeted it.
Was it the live
Yes,
corner?
yes.
Oh my god,
That was
dude.
a great joke.
Yeah, no, I was like, he won the election. We all lost, but Joe List won.
Yeah. Don Jr. said post of the night, and Joe was like, Joe's the biggest liberal on the planet. He's like, I might switch.
Joe started wearing his red tie.
Yeah, exactly. So apparently he got busted for kiddie porn.
The guy I'm
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
It makes this movie it makes it even darker. Like the comedy, there's like an extra layer to it. Like when he gets on the school bus at the end, and all the kids are like scared of him.
Give that a goog.
So he's not the head in The Thing when he
No.
Okay, I don't know why,
He was
but
in Howard the Duck.
oh, okay, maybe that's what I remember him from.
Thing is so good.
Oh yeah, he is in Howard.
Yeah,
That's what I'm thinking of.
No,
He's like possessed.
The Thing's incredible.
Incredible. I just saw it for the first time
no way.
2 months ago, and I'm in love with it.
It's so good.
So good.
Kurt Russell is just so
He's a
cool
badass.
too. Yeah.
Well, apparently it bombed in theaters, I think. And it became like a big hit later.
Yeah, it was like cult classic.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt Russell's just the man, though.
The man. Yeah, with that hat on. Also very kind of realistic that he has a nerdy dweeb friend. Cool guy. It's a yin and yang.
Is this you talking to Liz trying to get him to go to Mike's?
Come on, start drinking again. Also, everything's Chicago with Hughes. It's all Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
Big shy
Shermer.
town.
I noticed this last time you were on. You chose Groundhog Day, and on this, Ferris Bueller plays the piano. Bill Murray plays the piano.
Oh,
Groundhog
yeah.
Day. There's a weird piano connection there.
Whoa, good catch. I never even noticed that.
But Ferris, that piano is so awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, this is pretty high-end technology. He has the internet. He switched the date or the amount of absences.
You know, there was people at the time being like, holy
Oh,
shit.
I was doing that.
How is he doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. With the piano keys and everything. Yeah, it was all the technology was really cool. The red phone is great.
Even when you listen to the sneezing and burping
Yeah.
now, it doesn't even sound like you're like, that's supposed to be burping and sneezing. But back then that had to be mind-blowingly good.
Yeah.
This is me trying to convince myself to go to an open mic.
This is in my head all day. I'll go. He'll keep calling me.
This was you before the podcast.
He's so good in that. He nails this role. I'm surprised you don't see him in more shit. Look at this guy. Now, there's a line in this movie I've never understood, and I've seen the movie 9,000 times. Ferris is doing Dunkashane. He's up on the float, and the girl goes, "What do you think Ferris is going to be?" And he goes, "A fry cook on Venus." What does that mean?
Maybe that he could do anything.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
But still, if you're at Venus, you'd think he'd be an astronaut or something. You know,
Yeah.
a fry cook, it seems like he's mentally in the clouds, but he's also not
I never
maybe
got it.
motivated to do hard work or something.
Yeah, and I've rewound it 30 times. His name is Fry, which is weird, so there's something going on there.
You know, Cameron's got such a problem with his dad. Do you feel like it's because his dad has all these cool cars and makes Cameron drive that piece of shit?
Oh, yeah, makes sense. Boy, she's a good-looking lady.
She really is.
She pulled out of acting. She got sick of acting. Now she lives in London. I looked her up one day. I was like, what's she up to? She's single?
Must be tough to be a hot woman.
Did she
Yeah.
act in anything else notable?
She did a couple things they bombed. She was in Legend, which was huge, then this, which was huge, and then she did a few things after, bomb, and then she was in a TV movie that she got panned. Her acting got panned. They were like, stick to small roles, bitch. And she quit the biz. Oh, she fakes it? Me? What? Now she's got a fake sad. Oh, yeah.
It is crazy when you think about how meticulously planned out, like, Ferris had to be about this. Because she had to change her answering machine.
Yeah.
There's just so much to it and so many layers that they, like, preemptively had to have been like, this was not the first time they've done this.
So I got a funny story to share. I don't know if you know this. It's kind of a Ferris Bueller moment, but more anti-Ferris Bueller because it only caused trouble. I didn't like get me out of trouble.
Yeah.
But when I was about 16, I remember my friends had one of those like fake out voicemails where it'd just be like, "Hey, how's it going?" And
Oh,
then,
yeah.
beep. And I was like, man, I want something like that. Like, but I was like, what if I make it like specific to the person that calls me the most? And I was being realistic. I was like, okay, my mom calls me the most.
Uh-huh.
So I made a voicemail where I go like, "Hey, mom. Yeah, mom, I got it. Okay, mom, I got it. Okay, I gotta go. Okay, bye." Well, I forget about it. 3 days rolls by, and I get a call at like 11 in the morning. I was in high school sleeping late, and she calls me, "Where have you been? You're supposed to pick up your sister. She's at gymnastics practice. What have you been doing?" And I'm just like, what are you talking about? I've just been sleeping. I talked to you like 3 different times.
Whoa.
You were being short with me. You're being so rude. Just like rush me off the phone. You don't even pick her up. And I like can't figure it. I'm like, no, we haven't talked, I swear. And then I'm just like, wait a second. I have a voice. I said a voicemail. Luckily, she laughed after I like explained it. She called again. It was
3
like,
days
okay.
later.
Yeah.
My mom, it takes her a minute. She appreciates the humor
was
and
mad.
stuff,
Yeah.
but she doesn't like being the butt
She
of
was
the
mad,
joke.
but then 3 days later, she's like, "Okay, I've been telling this story to some of my friends, and they
good.
think it's funny."
Wow, that's crazy that you forgot about it.
That's so good.
That's great.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't think you did.
No, that's a great story. Thank you. If you knew my mother, but I'm glad you don't.
No.
Yeah.
That would be a weird thing to bring. Oh yeah, Kim.
But very Ferris, but Ferris wouldn't have forgotten.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, yeah, that's
It would have
true.
worked in his favor somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
This is such a great Ferris Bueller.
Oh, yeah.
Rooney's just like, oh my god.
I remember when he was thinking, or when Cameron, he's like, "Rooney?" And he does the dad voice.
Oh yeah.
And then he kicks him on the ass, and he's like, "You're blowing it." And he goes, "Don't ask me to do your shit if you don't like the way I do it." See, this is great. He's got Rooney on his toes, and this guy's cool as a cucumber.
Mm-hmm.
The tables have turned. It was just fun seeing adults this frazzled, and the kid, because it was the opposite in real life.
Oh, of course. I also think like the moment that impresses me the most is when he's at the restaurant and the guy's like, "You don't have the reservation." Like, "I'm going to call the police." And he's like, "I'm going to call the police."
Oh, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
The ability to return that serve so quick.
Yes.
And just like had no fear. I would have been like, "You're right. I'm sorry. I should have done. Please don't call the." I would have bailed. There's no way I would have stuck to the bit.
Yeah.
The line too that he gives him once he gets seated is so ballsy too, and he's like, "Well, if it wasn't for understanding, or
Yes.
we wouldn't
be able to tolerate people like you.
Yeah.
The Sausage King of Chicago, Abe Froman.
Let me ask you this with Cameron's outfit. What's the point of wearing suspenders and a belt?
And a belt.
Yeah, it's one or the other, right?
Well, I think suspenders were hip then, so you just
Okay.
threw them on. It was an accessory.
I could see that being a John Hughes ad. It's kind of like Ducky, I feel like.
Yeah.
yeah.
A little nerd.
Yeah,
touch.
it's a weird... But I don't feel like Cameron's a nerd.
Not a nerd, but he's socially awkward.
Mark, I was curious if you've seen one of these before.
Oh, jeez. Enough with the gifts. Whoa! I didn't know they made these.
It was an Emmy presser.
What? How the hell did you get that?
Just, I pulled some strings.
Wow! Damn, I didn't make the cut. But look at that.
No, you're on the... Oh, yeah, you're not... Yeah, you did get plastered on there. I thought about just, like, taking a picture of it there.
Is that Jessica Lange? Wow. You ever seen the movie All That Jazz?
I have not.
Oh, you guys should check that out. It's
All right.
one of the great 70s movies, but she's in that. She's hot.
We talked about Horace and Pete last time you were on, but I was curious about the movie you and Sam Morril have been writing together. How's that experience been?
Good. We finished writing it, and it's done. The script is done, and now we're shopping it around, and we've gotten some pretty good feedback.
Awesome.
And it's dark, it's twisted, it's raunchy. It's a throwback to like a Porky's or Something About Mary or, just an offensive comedy. And
About time.
I think we're coming around. Like Tires is on Netflix.
Yeah, that's great.
And like things like Kill Tony are huge. So I think the world is changing a little. So I think we got a good shot with this flick.
How was the experience writing a movie versus stand-up? Like, was there any challenges or anything?
It's way harder because you don't have that audience to tell you what's good. So I would throw out an idea to Sam. He would go, it's kind of good. You have to be realistic with each other. So we did it in chunks because it's so hard to write a movie that we're like, let's do 2 pages today. Let's do 1 page today. Let's do 3 pages today. And we did it all over Zoom.
No way.
Yeah. And we, one day you're like, hey, we're on page 66. And another, hey, we're on page 91. Hey, we're on page 120. You just keep chipping away. And that's how we did it.
Do you think it helps that y'all have a rapport and an understanding of each other?
Yes. Definitely.
It would just be way harder, I feel like, if you had to do that with us.
Yeah, we know each other's voice.
We're dead weight.
No. But yeah, we just worked it out, and then we would write it. We'd write it, and then we rewrote it, and then we rewrote it again. So when you see it again and again, you're like, oh, this is actually not that good. We thought it was good at the moment, but then we twisted it and made it better and tweaked it. So yeah, it's a long process. And then of course selling it is hell. Then you got to have a meeting with a guy. Then that meeting goes nowhere. Then a week later you have another meeting. So it's just Hollywood wastes so much time. It's crazy.
Take it back to Tires. I know Shane Gillis, they kind of just did that on their own and then shopped it
yes,
to Netflix.
That's the move.
Are y'all kind of thinking of going that route?
Well, Tires it's so cheap to make, and so that helped. This is a big movie. We need big actors. We need big locations. So we kind of want some money.
Mm-hmm.
So we need a little money. But in 17 years, it'll be made. That's what I'm saying. Because it takes so long with these suits. You got to just make shit. That's why the internet is winning. Like a podcast. If we had a TV studio here and all the grips and the unions and the bullshit, this would be out in 9 years. But with a podcast, just put it out.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Ferrari 250 GT, California. Oh, yeah.
Do you think Ferris is a good friend for getting the car or like a bad friend? Like, was that selfish or was that to push him?
That's a great question because it's a little of both. He's like, I'm taking my friend out. I'm showing my friend how to live, but also I'm selfishly using him for his cool shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a double-edged sword here. Oh, look how great he is.
He does look good with it.
That's such a used car salesman.
Yeah.
Lean on the car too.
Every suit was gray back then. It was all 80s was so gray clothing. That's
that's not a real Ferrari.
replica.
Oh, yeah, they made a few of those.
Well, I hope it wasn't real because they throw that fucker right off the window.
It's so frustrating to me watching that scene. It's a great scene. But I'm like, once they realize that the driving in reverse
put it down,
is
then
not working, stop. Go ahead and just stop.
I know.
It's just so frustrating.
I feel the same way when those hooligans are tooling around in it, what country do you think this is? That whole thing when they're peeling out on the road.
Yeah.
That bothered me.
Have you ever, do you ever steal your parents' car or anything like that?
Oh, yeah. My dad bought my dad's like N-word rich, where he's like, he didn't have a lot of money, but he wanted to look like he did, so he bought a used Lexus. And that thing had a V8, and me and my friends would peel out in it and do donuts. That was fun.
Have you ever been in a car accident before?
I've been in many. I got into a car accident the day in my dad's Lexus, the day of my last day of high school. We went out the night before hard. We were all hungover. We stayed out all night. My friend was puking in the back seat. So we're all going to the last day of high school, our senior year. Last day, we're at my friend's house. We wake up. We throw our uniforms on. My friend's puking out the window. And I just made an illegal turn, and a car hit me, some like nice old lady. And it was the last day of school. The car was totaled, and my friend was so fucked up and puking that they called an ambulance. Somebody's like, he's on the ground, he's puking, he's dying. So they called an ambulance. He didn't need one. He was just hungover. So I had to pay for the ambulance. My dad was pissed about the car. I had to go to work a summer job to pay for the car. It was all brutal, but yeah, that was one. One time we flipped a car. I was driving. Me and my girlfriend and a couple of guys went tubing. We were 17. You guys ever go tubing?
Just like down a river?
Yeah.
Or like, okay, yeah.
Drinking all day on a river, went tubing, and she drove. We got back in the car. It's nighttime now. We're in the middle of the Boga Chita in the middle of Louisiana, pitch black, woods, and it's a gravel road, and my friend in the back goes, gun it, and was right around a turn, and she gunned it, and she didn't know what the hell she was doing. Car flipped, woke up in a ditch, upside down, under the seatbelt, fell, climbed out the window, got her out, and she was a cute lady with huge cans, and she was still in a bikini, and I remember one of her boobs had popped out, so the cops are taking notes, and it's like a 17-year-old girl with huge boobs in a bikini, and just crying with a tit out, and they're like, okay, so, and all these fat Louisiana cops are like, this is a head-scratcher, well, we're going to need your identification, and then they let us go.
I wonder why.
Yeah, that didn't hurt.
You ever try to get out of a ticket with just like one ball hanging out? Probably not going to work.
Not going to work. No. That car was total. Yeah, many car accidents. Well, why do you ask?
Will they destroy this car? We just
yeah.
kind of like tying in the question for the movie.
I like it.
Was your dad happy? I mean, I guess with the...
He didn't talk to me for months. My dad's such a psycho that like my mom had to tell me a month later, like, your dad's still mad at you. You got to apologize. You got to grovel a little bit, so.
How do you think the conversation with Cameron and his dad goes after the movie?
Oh, I'm sure his dad beat the hell out of him, but it was worth it because he lived. He's got a memory for life, and sometimes you gotta live a little and take the beating just for the memory.
But it feels like, in a weird way, Cameron was like jacked about it.
He
like,
is.
Where he's like, I'm going to be a man for the first time in my life.
Yes, and he needs a friend like Ferris to
tell him not to wear that hat.
You need a Ferris in your life to pull that out of you. Also, I like how he's like, Ferris, you got to be safe. He's sitting on the back of the trunk with no seatbelt, blocking the rearview mirror. Now, do you guys go subtitles on your flicks?
Every movie.
So
Me too.
Okay, I was about to say, I have to defend it to a lot of people.
Me too.
Like, especially like if you're dating a girl that's even slightly younger than you, and
yes.
she's like, "Oh, you're this old," and it's like, you catch so much more.
I know. And you hear like song lyrics they'll write out, and you're like, oh, the song has to do with the scene.
Exactly.
Which we'd never caught before.
Yeah, I would have never tied that in. Even songs I know, I'll see the lyrics and I'll go, oh, I didn't know it. It said that. But no, like you said, I mean, I think if you love dialogue, you'll love subtitles or captions because you catch things where you're like, oh, I always thought they said this.
Totally. And sometimes they'll be like, dog barks in the distance, and then that dog comes up later or something.
Mm-hmm. So. Even in this, she says her name's Jeannie, and she's like, but guys call me Shauna because Ferris calls her. And the song is like changes from Jeannie to Shauna.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You pick up on it because you're like, oh, I see it.
They do a lot of fun stuff like that, like with the songs, like when Cameron's calling. Or when Ferris is calling Cameron, Ferris has this upbeat song, and then immediately goes to Cameron, who's listening to that
Cameron from Israel.
Yeah.
Let my Cameron go. Yeah.
All right.
This car gets scratched, breathed on wrong.
Mark, one of the last things we
got. Oh, come on! What the? Oh. Wow, this is impressive.
We partnered with George, our buddy Dr. Photograph. He was actually with you a few weeks ago.
Yep.
And he was like, it was so hard not to tell you about this.
This is amazing. Holy shit. How the hell did you pull that off? That's incredible. This is going on the wall. This is incredible.
In the Tuesdays of Stories, or y'all...
Yeah.
Where the wallpaper's peeling back?
Yeah, exactly. We have about 8 piles of photos and shit we haven't framed. So yeah, this will be in the pile.
That's a classic moment, though. I feel like that's the most I've seen you and Liz just crack up.
Dying laugh, peak COVID. We're Zooming. We needed a good laugh. But I gotta bring this up there, Fatty.
Uh-oh.
So my mom and me are connecting more, which sounds good on paper, but it's a real pain in my dick. She's a talker. She wants to call. She wants to connect.
Sounds horrible on paper.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So she's sending me books. This is her move. Books, Jerry. And she sent me book after book, and every day she goes, "Did you get the book?" And I go, "I didn't get it. It's not here. The mailman hasn't come. I haven't gotten the book." And she's like, "All right." And she's pissed. And she's mad at me because the book's not here. So that's the first stage of hell. The second one is, "Did you get the book?" "I got the book." And she goes, "What do you think?" "It's a book. Let me sit with it for a minute. I didn't finish it. I just got it today."
Yeah, I read at 3 pages every 4 days.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the one I got today. Now, this is the first prop comedy of all time on Tuesdays, but just take a look at that. Come on. This is where we're at here. This is the connection me and my parents have. Is that rich? Is that gold or what? For the folks at home, if you're not watching, the list is in shambles. But it's Brad Garrett's biography of When the Ball Drops. From Everyone Loves Raymond. Brad Garrett, the older brother with the deep voice.
Oh, that book sucks.
Of course it sucks.
Dude, that reminds me. My mother bought me fucking, Jeff Foxworthy, family is a F word or family's a 4-letter word or something.
Yeah,
and I remember opening it on Christmas morning and being like, what?
Yes, yes.
What? Did you ever read the book?
No. I don't want to get less funny. This is incredible. Well done, Dr. Photograph. Well done. Not like it's #1 edition. That's great. Look how cute the book is.
All right, and then the last thing we got.
Oh, the Ferris Bueller sweater vest.
Yeah.
Come on. There it is.
Rooney and Cameron needed a Ferris.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Wow, where'd you find that?
Just Amazon. We can return it too. Don't.
Yeah, I don't know if I can wear it, but it's pretty
you want to
badass.
join in on the fun.
Yeah, you got the white shirt on already.
That's true. All right, fine.
Not trying to guilt you.
Yeah. Not trying to make you.
When you really break down his outfit, it's pretty insane. He has white leather shoes, like hush puppies, gray slacks, a white T-shirt, a weird leopard vest, and a white and black leather jacket.
But it works somehow,
It
right?
works.
Yeah.
Here, I have a theory. Confidence.
Confidence.
Yeah.
Man, where can I buy that?
Not on Amazon. Look at that.
A lot of guys in nightclubs in Orlando have the exact same outfit.
What is this, Ed Hardy?
You're like, did you just give me this and then roast me for wearing it? I'm never doing this pod again.
As long as it's not a nightclub in Orlando. Pulse.
I thought it would be funny. It'd be working a parody. It wouldn't work in this, but if she walked in and he somehow rigged it up where the dummy was like masturbating, and voiceover just like, "Mom, get out!"
Yeah, you could hit the piano. A little moan. 9 times.
What does that mean? In the
9 times?
Yeah, in the context that he's masturbating.
Yeah.
I remember being a kid seeing that, going, "How's he gonna get out of this one? She's coming up the stairs," and then he got out of it.
It is weird getting nervous for something that affects you zero.
Yeah,
That's
a good movie.
writing. Yeah,
Oh,
Good
for
writing.
sure, for sure.
I love this.
This is great. This is pre-internet. You had to make your own fun. You had to figure shit out and go do weird stuff. No phones.
He's a third base coach right here.
Right. That's so funny. They're like, let's go see the stock exchange. See, even this is fun. He's just so he's such a risk taker. Let's get married. Fuck it.
You want to get married?
Sure.
Today? I'm serious.
I'm not getting married.
And it's kind of like disappointed when she says no.
Yeah, but she's
But realistically, Ferris does not want to be tied down.
no.
What do you think is Ferris's next chapter?
He's gonna go off to some great thing. He's gonna be like a politician or start a company or something. He's got the world's his oyster.
He'd be a perfect politician.
Oh yeah, smooth, fast talking, lie.
Talking some conservative Cameron into doing something.
Here it comes. This guy's great too. The weird maitre d'. Oh, that guy's so good. He's so snooty.
I think that's the word he uses.
Snooty?
Because they say like, snotty. Yeah. You nailed it.
Mark, I always admire your work ethic.
Oh, God.
What do you do, like, whenever you feel burned out? Like, do you do anything to get past that? Like, what would Mark Norman's day off look like?
I'm not good with days off. I just did a trip with the family to Barcelona, and it's so hard for me. I have to just like slip into it. It's a real forceful thing where I like relaxing. I like to work, so relaxing is hard for me. So I have to like force myself to relax. So I just get really fucked up. That's my only way in. I'm like, all right, I'm just sitting here. I'm on a beach. I'm not having any fun, so I just get really shit-faced.
Do you like to work, or are you addicted to comedy?
I'm addicted to comedy.
Yeah.
Probably. I don't want to mow lawns, but it's the comedy. But I like comedy's great because you can grow, you can create. So you're always making something new that wasn't there a week ago. Pretty cool.
A lot of people go to work and do the same thing every day. You don't have many days that are the same.
No, and I love that. I'm in Pensacola right now. Tomorrow I'll be in New York. Next week I'm in Fort Collins, Colorado. I like moving, shaking, creating. Like, it's cool to look at your act. You're a comic. You look at your act now.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
Well, I heard you say it open mic. You look at your act in 2019, you look at your act now, so much more has been added to it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's cool to me. Otherwise, you were just working HR or data entry, and you just punching numbers and you go home.
We were talking about how you close your show, and how, to me, it's so impressive.
Oh, thanks.
Because people are just yelling all sorts of nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
And then you pull it and tie it into a joke that you've written, Lord knows, I mean, some of them are 10 years ago, but you weave it to where it's like, I just thought of this.
Oh, thanks.
And it's so, like, someone could say something to me, and I could have a joke about it, but I don't tie it together. That's just, I truly think that's your superpower. Your like ability to recall stuff like that is incredible.
Hey, I appreciate it. Well, you get that fight or flight. It's like you're a superhero up there. You can just I couldn't think of that on sitting in here, but when you're up there, you're just kind of panicking, so it comes out of you.
What's been the biggest like adjustment from going to like doing clubs to theaters?
Theaters, you gotta be on. You gotta move. You gotta be big, and then you got to. I feel like the jokes have to be complete. This is a performance. You're presenting everything in a theater. In a club, you can kind of work out, fuck around, talk to the crowd. You can be in the room a little more, but I think at theater, you really got to present everything. This is my bit on this. Here it comes, folks. Buckle up. In a club, you're like, let's try this. Is this something? Can't do that in a theater.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, theaters, it's a different animal, but they're a treat.
Well, it seems like you're someone that sets goals, and you were probably like doing clubs to be like, I can't wait to do theaters.
Yeah.
Are you doing theaters saying like, I can't wait to do
no.
the next thing? All right, so
I like this.
Okay.
This is the dream. I never was like, I'm going to do theaters one day. The fact that I'm doing theaters is insane. I'm super grateful. I'm not, I never would have thought as an open micer I would be here, so it's all a win. So I don't need to go any higher. Also, arenas are not great for comedy. I'd rather do like 10 at a theater than one arena.
I was going to hold off, but I love this story so much. I'm going to cue it off. This is the last thing we have for you.
Oh, jeez. Erotic Journey from Milan to Minsk. Art Vandelay Film. Kramerica Pictures. Chesty LaRue. Buck Naked. That's great. Wow. How do you find this shit?
We do some digging, but one of my favorite stories I've heard you tell is when you bombed for Seinfeld, opening up for Seinfeld in the theater.
Yeah.
Do you mind sharing that story?
Sure. Hold on. Sorry.
You have a Donald Duck type sneeze.
So Seinfeld wants you to do, it's at the Beacon Theater, biggest gig of my life, childhood hero, the whole thing. And he's like, do 15, no clock, no light. Meaning there's no clock on stage, so you got to do 15 minutes, and there's no light at 14 minutes to let you know you have a minute left. So you're just up there loose. And so I ran my set in my apartment with a stopwatch like 800 times, just doing the whole set. And then you got to factor in, okay, they might get a big laugh, so that adds a second. And you're trying to figure it out in your head, and it's
5 minutes to 7 minutes.
Yes, it's a mess. So then, but once you get up there, you're like, I'm in a theater, I got to kill. Where am I at? Am I at 4 minutes? Am I at 8? Am I at 9? And so I couldn't tell where I was, so I just got off. And I had done like 13 minutes or 12 minutes instead of 15, and he wasn't there. He's usually waiting at the wings, but I got off so early that he wasn't down there yet. So I ran off stage, and I saw it was just a grip playing a game on his phone. I go, what should I do? He goes, you better go back out there. So I ran back out there, which was the worst mistake, and I'm bombing because they're like, wait, why are you back out? We don't care about you. We want the celebrity guy and the guy we paid to see, and I'm just bombing, and it's a clean show, so I start getting heckled. And one guy's like, Jerry, and I want to be like, shut the fuck up, you cum-stained piece of shit. But it's got to be clean, so I'm like, all right, sir, take her easy. We'll get him out here. Don't worry, blah, blah. And I'm bombing. I do one bit. It does okay. I get off, and he's next to the stage fuming. And I was like, Jerry, I'm sorry. He wouldn't even talk to me, and he goes out there, and he killed. And then it was my fault. I fucked up. And then he gave me the business later.
I don't do stand-up, but anytime I just tell a joke and it bombs, I'll just hear in my head now, just, Jerry.
It fucked with me. I finally made it to the mountaintop. I'm the highest peak of my career, and I blew it.
This scene made me so nervous as a kid.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, why even risk? Just wait. Hide out until your dad gets the taxi.
I know.
And then go get it.
They like
but
it.
Ferris is just, I'm Cameron, I've learned. And that I don't have a Ferris. Except for, well.
Yeah. Who do you relate to, Mark? Cameron or Ferris?
Oh, Ferris all day. All day. I'm all about living, shaking, taking risks. I like it. Look at that, a nice Chicago pizza joint. Oh, God, it's great.
I forget about this scene every time.
Same. Well, it's fun because this is a suit, stiff, principal piece of shit. Everybody hates him, and he's in these fun places. So it's a fish out of water for him, too.
This is another creepy scene.
Yeah.
Him telling this teen her ass is his.
Yeah.
Oh, and he spits. She spits on him.
He's talking to Tig Notaro.
Have you ever had a girl pour a drink on you?
Oh yeah. There was a girl in high school who everybody's like, she'll blow anybody. She'll hook up with anybody, and I was a big nerd, so I was like, oh, she'll blow anybody. So I went up to her and I was like, I heard you give great head, and she just threw a drink on me.
Your logic was not flawed at all.
No.
Yeah.
That's the thing about women. You got to, like, sweet talk them. Like, if a girl walked up to me and was like, you want to fuck? I'd be like, oh, sure. But you can't do that to women.
Yeah, I hear you give great dick. You're exactly right.
Exactly.
About time people start talking about it.
Oh, yeah.
It is crazy when you think about the 80s and how it was impossible. Like, there's not social media.
No.
There's no, like, you don't know what people look like to an extent. And Ferris is on TV right in front of him.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of, like, I probably think it doesn't get, like, enough shine.
Yeah.
He was, like, that close to seeing it.
Right. That's part of the fun.
What's crazy, do you remember that story, that news story about Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Oh, yeah.
The guy got off from a crime because he was in a Curb episode at a baseball game.
No way.
And they were able to
yeah.
identify him and go, okay, well, he couldn't have committed that crime.
I just missed that.
The doc's on Netflix called Long Shot. Because the guy's going to jail, dead to rights. They got him for murder, and then his lawyer found this, or Curb.
Is there any documentaries lately that you've been watching that got your attention?
That's a good question. I just watched The Thin Blue Line, which is incredible. It's probably the best doc. It's like the doc that made all the other docs. It's old as shit, but I just saw it for the first time. It's incredible. You guys see the Spielberg doc?
The HBO one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun.
Would you want to see a sequel from this movie, like made today?
They almost did one.
Really?
Yeah.
I think they'd fuck it up.
I think it would work if he was, like, at work and calling Cam, being like, you're working this bullshit job. I'm working this bullshit job. Like, you know, the Cubs have got this game. Like, you could kind of do it.
I would almost like it if the roles were flipped, where it was Cameron's day off.
Ooh.
And now
okay.
he's the laid back one, and Ferris
There
is
you
in
go.
some shitty job.
I like it.
And like he's like, I don't know why I married this girl in high school.
I think you can go visit that house in Chicago.
I saw that you can Airbnb the Home Alone house.
Really?
As well, yeah.
Whoa, the Wet Bandits. Do they still have that little lawn jockey out there?
Speaking of Curb.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
We ask all our guests this. Do you remember when you found out Santa Claus wasn't real?
No, I don't remember. But I think my parents are atheists, so they were kind of like, there's no Santa. So they told me pretty early. Plus, our presents always sucked. So if there was a Santa, he blew it. The dog.
Have you ever had to break into a house before?
Oh, yeah.
Next question.
Yeah, you guys. I mean, I thought that was part of childhood. You forgot your keys. You came home late. You had to sneak in. You had to go through a window.
I came home from the bar one time in college, and everyone had locked our house up. And I had we had a futon outside, and I slept on the futon till like God knows what time. Because I tried to break in every trick I knew, and nothing worked. I don't know how to do the credit card thing.
Right?
Can you credit card it?
Not really.
I always ended up just messing up the card.
Yeah.
But you feel cool for 10 seconds. And you're like, I got this.
Yeah,
and
right.
Like, nah, I don't know.
Well, it's funny too when you try to break into a house. You're like, why is this house so hard to break into? What the fuck? You're like, oh yeah, because I want security.
We did Groundhog Day last time, and I wish I'd asked you this then. But if you had to relive one day over and over from your past, is there a day that sticks out that you'd want to relive?
Woo! All right. I did a comedy festival in Hawaii, in Maui, and I met a girl at a bar. This is literally 15 years ago. Met a girl at a bar after a show. We ended up hitting it off. She was like, I'm out of a breakup, whatever. We go back to my hotel. We bang in the pool. And I remember just banging this girl I just met in the pool of the Sheraton Hotel in Maui. And I'm looking out to the sea and the mountains and the palm trees. And I'm like, this is the best night of my life. I'm, half in the bag. And I feel a nudge. And I look to my left, and there's a little Hawaiian guy hitting me with a pool scooper. And he's like, the pool's closed. What are you doing? And I was like, oh, shit. I'm inside this woman. Sorry.
Fishing a condom out.
Yeah. So, I jizzed in the pool, and we got out.
Were you having sex underwater?
Yeah.
I tried to do it in a hot tub once, and I felt like
it's not great.
The water, it's like you feel the water.
Yeah, and it ruins the natural lady lube down there, too. So it's a little awkward, but,
no, it's a cool thing to check off the bucket list.
Yeah. So that was fun. That was a pretty great day. Just that whole Hawaiian trip was awesome.
Lady Lube should be the name of a lube.
I'm sure it is. Also, you got to hand to these high school kids. They could have gone and just got shit-faced at a bar, but instead they're like, let's go to the stock exchange and the Museum of Art.
Yeah.
No, they're classy.
They're classy people. They're kind of cultured. Look at that. They're hanging out with the kids. They're playing along. That's a hopper.
Is that who painted that?
Yeah. I don't know that one. That's a Picasso.
Wow.
Do you go to a lot of art museums?
Not really, no.
When you're on the road, are you going out in the town and just kind of winging it, or do you find something cool? Yeah,
I'm usually hungover, but when I'm not, I've been everywhere now. I've been to St. Louis 8 times. So I've seen the Arch. I've seen all the shit. I've gone to the baseball games. So I've seen so much that now I can sleep in and say fuck it. But I try to get out and do the stuff.
When you go places, you learn about certain things. Do you have a favorite thing? If you're like, oh man, when I go here, I got to do this though. This is every time I go to Nashville, I got to do this. Or every time I go to Chicago.
Well, I try to get the cuisine. Nashville, you get the hot chicken. Philly, you get the cheesesteak.
Okay.
Whatever it is. Denver, you get the weed. So yeah, I always try to mix it up with the cuisine, and I Google every city I go to do I did a whole Florida run tonight of jokes.
Oh yeah.
And I forgot a Blue Angels joke.
They did it today too.
Yeah. So I had one written, and I fucked it up.
What was the joke?
It was gonna be, hey, we had Blue Angels in New York, but they ran into these buildings. So, we stopped doing it. But I forgot the joke. So I blew it.
You Blue Angeled it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice. What a day. See, why would you want to go to school when you could do all this?
How do you feel about the karaoke scene though? Because I feel like I'm watching Fallon or something. Like,
What with the Dunkashane?
Yeah.
I think it's cool because he's like went from a kid skipping school to now he's like running the city. He's in the middle of the city entertaining the whole town. So it's like he made it to the peak.
He just hijacked a parade.
Yeah. So I love it.
Do you have a karaoke go-to song?
No, I don't do karaoke.
Not at all?
No.
You're such a performer.
I don't like singing. I hate karaoke, so I don't want to subject people to that.
Me too.
But I'd probably go with Sinead O'Connor. What's that song?
Zombies? Is that?
No, it's Cranberry.
Okay. Yeah.
It's went out to a fancy restaurant.
I get
I
it.
see why you don't do karaoke.
And then this is weird. The whole "I'm gonna fuck your dad" thing.
Would he not know who Ferris
That's
is
what I'm
dating?
thinking too.
That's a flaw.
There's several loopholes in the movie, but like not knowing your son's girlfriend seems top of the list. He's actually tickling her right now to get her to laugh.
Really?
She's genuinely laughing.
Oh wow. Oh, that's a great button on the scene right there.
My mom and dad do this a lot, but where they'll watch stuff and go, "Oh, you know what they're in." And then they'll start playing that game of what you've seen them in. So it's made me, as I watch stuff, go on IMDb.
Yeah.
And they have trivia on there. And then I'll just start like watching a movie and I'm just like reading about stuff like that about the movie.
I love that shit.
It's kind of, do you remember VH1 like pop-up videos?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like IMDb is for movies.
Dude, that would be a great show for movies. You two guys could make that. Pop-up video movies. Not just music videos. Well, there's so many little tidbits. Like you could do a whole thing like, what's up with this black guy in the sweater? What's up with these women? What are they thinking? You know, like
Black people don't go to parades.
Yeah.
That'd be a great note.
They go to marches. Now, who set this up?
Hilarious.
Is this real?
this is the funniest scene. The black people are way cooler to do. There's no way. This is the most unrealistic part of the whole movie.
This would be a white polka thing if it was white people. It'd be like a.
They're doing a flash mob dance.
There's also a guy who does like a weird vibrate. There he is. I love that
He's
guy.
just seasoned out over there.
Yeah. No, that guy's great. Oh, the Jews. There you go.
Matthew Broderick said that they didn't think, like, a lot of these people just showed up.
Wow.
And he said he got done doing it, and then he looked around and he said, I get why rock stars are rock stars.
Yeah.
Like, he said, this was such a thrill. He's like, I just performed for 10,000 people.
Amazing. The Beatles, still kicking.
Did you ever watch the Beatles doc?
I did, yeah. It was a little long.
Yeah.
It was funny how they hated Yoko.
Oh, when she's just screaming.
Yeah,
You just see
yeah.
George Harrison just like, God damn.
Yeah.
I hate this girl.
It's so much smoking. They really smoked the whole way.
I thought it was fascinating though, just how they just banged out the album. You know,
I
It
know.
felt like, you know, they just went in there. It's like just like a job. It's like, hey, we got to get these tracks done.
Yep.
And I thought there'd be like more collaboration, but it was there. And then just when they're just playing, like John's like, or Paul's like, oh yeah, there's a little song working on it. It's called Hey Jude.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, this is nuts.
Incredible. Did you ever see the Oasis doc?
I haven't seen that one.
Love 'em or hate 'em, there's some scenes in there where you're like, that is incredible, where they have this huge album, they're giant stars. I don't know, a couple years go by and their manager's like, we need another album. Like, we can't just keep relying on this one. So they go, all right, they're drunk, they're smoking, they're hungover, and he's like, Wonderwall? What's something with Wonderwall? How about this? Da-da-da. And they just write it in 2 seconds and they put it out. And they're like, there you go, there's your next hit. It's really incredible how quick they put it out.
Do you feel that pressure? Like I've always heard, like with music, it's like your first album takes 18 years to write, and then your second album is like 2 years.
Yeah.
Do you feel that in comedy at all, where like you feel pressure to just put out more material?
I definitely feel that with comedy, but I do think most comics' first album is their best. And I don't want to say it's all downhill after that, but like the first one's good, first one's great, second one's good, third one's okay, and then it starts to fizzle. So I think there's something too, but we get forced to put out, and now everybody's so content hungry that's why I put out Topical, because I'm like, hey, here, chew on this for a minute while I'm writing my act.
Who would you say is your group of most influential comedians on you? Obviously Jerry, but...
Yeah, well, Jerry, Chris Rock was huge for me. I knew it. Sorry.
I was picturing that being a Chris Rock
no, that's a different punchline. N-word, black people. Chris Rock, Louis C.K., Dave Attell, Bill Burr, all those guys are great. I grew up watching Bill Murray. Groucho Marx was my first love. So yeah.
Do you consider comedic actors comedians?
No.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, they are, because I'm a stand-up comedian, and Will Ferrell is just a comedian. But I don't like. I like to save it.
Though.
It's different.
Yeah.
Also, it just blows my mind. They're not drinking at all. I would have been.
Oh yeah.
Right to the bottle at noon.
Just getting hammered at the baseball game.
Yeah.
As soon as his parents leave, he like pulls up a bottle of Wild Turkey from behind his pillow.
Mark, I was curious. Do you have any unpopular movie opinions or any hot takes?
Oof, that's a big question. Hot takes just randomly about movies?
Yeah.
Well, I hate sci-fi. I hate kung fu. And like people like, you got to see Harry Potter. I couldn't give two shits. I like a movie where a guy has a car or a job. That's it. I can't do Lord of the Rings. I just can't do it. I don't know why. I respect it. Peter Jackson's great, but I like real life stuff like this. Yeah. So trying to think of what movies I like or that other people hate or vice versa. I love Liar Liar. You ever seen that?
Oh yeah, no, we talked about this last time.
Oh shit, sorry.
Not just a story. I told you that when I was a kid, I beat myself up in a bathroom.
I'm kicking my ass.
My mom didn't even like put it together. Like she like bitched out the restaurant manager, and then like on the way home, she was like, "Reed, did you beat yourself up in the bathroom?"
Well, I did it at the beach. I really don't come to the beach too much. Even today, I was in the bathroom. I was like, "What if I beat myself up right now?"
Was it kind of fun? Did you get off on it a little?
I guess. I pull pranks where I don't benefit at all.
Yeah. All right. What was the next night? I'm the nurse who likes to
fuck.
Yeah, of course. Who sent Ferris, a high school, a slut?
Good friend.
That
was Louis Anderson next to her, by the way.
Wait, no, it wasn't.
Yeah, rewind. He's also in Coming to America as the guy in McDonald's.
How do you feel about all those Eddie Murphy sequels, Coming to America 2, and then Beverly Hills Cop just came out?
I watched 8 minutes. It was so bad. They're just relying on the nostalgia factor. Then they're not utilizing Eddie Murphy to how his potential. He's so funny. Then we finally get a new movie with him, and it stinks.
I didn't even think Dolomite was good.
I like Dolomite.
I thought
I like at least that one's original.
It was original. That's true. I just was kind of I don't know. I think I was expecting more.
I just love Eddie Murphy, so I'm happy when he's in anything.
Yeah,
same. Like Tower Heist was bad. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I tried to watch it. I watched 30 minutes of it. Yeah, Alan Alda's in it.
What a bummer. There's your Sheen.
You got Sheen there.
I do love when he does the thumb thing.
Oh yeah,
put his thumb up his ass.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like how they make out too.
Yeah, it seems very her character too.
Yeah, well, she needs to be broken out of her shell as well. That's the whole point of the movie, is breaking out.
I was shocked when she saves him at the end.
Yeah.
When and even she Ferrises him a little bit when she's like, comes up with the lie on the fly of being like, can you believe a kid this sick would walk home?
Well, she only helped him out because she got some drug dick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Drug addict dick.
Everyone's in a little bit better of a mood after they get something.
Yeah. Miles aren't coming off. I put up with everything. See, he's breaking out. Everybody's not taking any more shit. That's the whole point. He pushes me around. He's such a weird actor. Alan Ruck.
Would it take it back to Joe List? I remember he said one time that he wanted to cast him in his movie to play his dad.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, they definitely have some type of similar qualities. I could see that.
Definitely.
Well, Joe wears suspenders with belts all the time.
Yeah, that's his thing.
Looking a little hacky out there.
By the way, Jerry, the suspenders a little hacky.
So I watched this with my dad once, and my dad hated his dad. So I remember this scene. He was like jerking off. Who do you love? You love a car.
Molly Ringwald was supposed to like audition for this part.
Okay.
And didn't get it because John Hughes was just like, nah, this girl is so perfect for it. And Molly Ringwald said that like the role wasn't big enough for her. Which sounds like something John Hughes would have told her to like make her feel better about not getting for it.
Also, Ferris is such a cool dude. I feel like he wouldn't be with a short-haired, red-haired
Yeah, I agree.
lady.
I've never I watch these movies and I just don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Yeah,
I never got it with her.
I'm like, she's just not this beautiful girl that everyone's acting like she is.
No, I never got it.
I thought Ali Sheedy in Breakfast Club was more attractive.
I agree.
Oh yeah, the dandruff. That was really a good.
No,
turn
but
on.
like it is funny though. Like we had this on the podcast before, but when they're like they tried to pretty up Ali Sheedy in that movie, and she got like less attractive.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's true. They made her all preppy.
Yeah, it was just like nah, the black stuff was working.
They're rarely working.
Man, what a movie!
What a film.
Mark, thank you so much
Hey,
for taking time out of
come
your
on. R.I.P.
Pensacola
John
trip.
Hughes.
No, we appreciate it so much. And do you have anything you want to plug?
Check out my podcast, We Might Be Drunk, Tuesdays with Stories. MarkNormanComedy.com for tickets. Get Brad Garrett's book. And yeah, we'll see you all in hell. Thanks for watching the podcast. And check out Ferris Bueller if you haven't seen it. One of the best of all time.
All right.
Comedy.
I said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.